chain guard for me motorbike. Right. Got a phone call to make. Oh, that's the fax number. Try again. I don't have a reference number, I'm afraid.
That's fine, don't worry. If you can give me your postcode, I'll try and locate the street postcode.
What it is I've received a letter which isn't for me.
No problem. So it's, give me the postcode to the address that that letter's come to. Right. And what name was on the letter, can you remember?
Am I allowed to say the name, am I, if it's not for me?
Yes, yeah.
Clark.
Clark, and what's the first line of the address? That's fine. So that's where you live now, at that address. Did this person live there before you moved in?
Am I obliged to answer that, am I?
Are you ringing to deal with this for this person, or are you saying that
what it is...
this person isn't known to you?
What it is, right? I mean, you've obviously... your letters don't hide the fact that you're after debts and stuff.
Okay.
Right? And you make out that your letters... Well, let's just say we've had a phone call from your company.
Right.
Which they wouldn't divulge to me the other day on the phone.
Yeah.
Who they were.
Right.
Now, the trouble is, I've got kids at home.
Right.
Who are under the age of 16.
Yeah.
That you would call... And then you would say, is so-and-so in? Yeah. Or is so, it's about such and such. But okay. you won't go into details on that, right? Now, my kids have always been told... Now, you don't know who's going to be on the other end of the phone. Exactly, we have got caller ID. Yeah. But, you just get phone calls from here, there and everywhere all the time. Right. Now, your company decides to say, before anything goes to... Before even a letter has been sent here, that you decide to ring here. Right, I've got kids under the age of 16 who might pick up the phone when I'm at work.
Right.
Right, and then you decide to say, oh, it's nothing to do with you, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, right?
Yeah.
When, considering that the company that you're with, which is a scumbag company at the end of the day, Moorcroft, yeah, because all debt recovery companies are scumbags at the end of the day.
I'm sorry, do you want me to put you through to my manager?
No, in actual fact, I'll tell you, and I hope you're recording this your end.
All our calls are recorded.
All your calls are recorded, and so are mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. It's nothing personal. It's nothing against you, your manager, or anyone else. It's your company, right? Now, how can you send a letter to someone that you don't know nothing you don't know about the debt, though, do you?
We send letters out on behalf of the clients that we're working for.
So you don't buy the debts?
Sorry? No, we don't.
You don't buy the debts, that's brilliant. So you're just a third party?
We send letters out. If letters go to addresses where that person is known, they can either be returned or people can ring in and we'll act upon that.
It's not the fact that the person's not here.
If we've got a phone number that's wrong, we apologise for that. And and we'll take the number out of our system. We've obviously either numbers have got transposed or it's an old number from an old address.
No.
Delete that number at that point.
It's not the problem about the phone numbers and stuff. What it is let me just say that you're not the first debt company that we've had letters from.
Okay.
Right. The trouble is, right, how do you know that you've got the debt right? How do you know that you're able to do the debt to follow the debt?
Clients, we act upon that. If the person we write it to has any problem at all with the amount that is being requested, we would act on that and stop the account and raise a query back with our clients. We have a process to follow, and we would do that. If someone rings me to say, I don't agree with this, for whatever reason, I would act upon that on their benefit, and I'd put the account on hold, and I would deal with that.
No, because the problem I've got is, right, you're not the first debt collection agency to send letters to this address, right? And well, to be perfectly honest, right, I mean, I've known a little bit about law and stuff when I went to college and stuff about having contracts and stuff to deal with, especially when it comes to money. There has to be contracts involved. And your company is phoned out of the blue the other day before any letters were sent. Right, before I even heard of Moorcroft Debt Recovery Limited, your company phoned up saying that they were from MDR.
Right.
Now it doesn't take a genius to work out, because the company previous was Credit Security. Right, and I got rid of them. In the end because, well, to put it bluntly, now you might want to close your ears on this one, but they're a bunch of cunts. Right, at the end of the day, right, I asked them for a signed contract between me and Credit Security, and I'm going to ask the same thing for you, and I'm going to do it on the phone because it's being recorded, and it's all this call is eligible to be placed in front of the court if it ever goes that way, which you won't do because you're not allowed to do it. Is that right? You're not allowed to take me to court. Only the original creditor can take me to court. Is that right?
My manager.
You want to speak to them? For fuck's sake. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Is that Mr. Martin by any chance?
It's not, I'm afraid. I'm going to put you through to my
I'd like to speak to Mr. Martin someone. Silence is golden. No music. Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Hi there, good afternoon. Your call's been transferred to Lee Daly. I'm one of the managers here at Moorcroft. Can I help you there?
Hi, yeah. Obviously, your people don't know their ass from their elbow. I've asked a few questions, and that in the first thing she wanted to do was to get you involved.
Okay. I just don't think she could help you as much as maybe I could. So, I mean, can I just confirm who I'm speaking to first of all?
Well, it's not the person on the letter. I've gone through all the bloody security stuff and that, right? Where it's not me on the letter. You've been sending me letters.
Yeah, who is it that's calling, please?
Am I obliged to answer that? Am I?
If you want to speak to me about, your issues, then I'd just like to know who I'm speaking to. So.
Oh, let's just say my name is Joe.
Okay then, Joe. And what is it you're calling in relation to?
What it is, you keep sending letters to this address, right?
Confirm the address we're sending them to.
Oh, I've done all that. I've done all that with the last person, and this is being recorded on video and audio. You can have a copy of the audio and video if you really want to. I've gone through all the bloody security stuff, right? I'm not doing it all again because this is my fucking phone call that I'm paying for.
Okay, so just to confirm, it's in relation to 14. Okay.
So you've got the details there already. So there you go. There you go. So why waste fucking time?
Is that your address, Joe?
It might be. Why?
I just want to know what you're calling in relation to. You're referring to an address. I just want to know.
Well, what it is, right? You're starting to piss me off now because you're starting to sound like you're reading from a script.
Not reading from a script.
Well then, the point I'm trying to make is, right, you've sent me letters here. Well, in actual fact, you started sending phone calls to my address, right, before you'd even sent a letter. How does that work?
What number have we rang?
Well, you should know.
Well, I've got numbers here, but obviously you don't.
Exactly, you've got the numbers there. So you don't need reminding of the numbers, right? I'm not telling you your fucking job. Right.
Tell me my job.
Exactly. You've got the numbers in front of you. You've got the numbers in front of you. And I'm not doing this because it's being recorded my end.
I don't know if they relate to what you're discussing with me.
Well, what it is, right? You decided to ring. Oh, for fuck's sake. You decided to ring before I'd even had a letter from you.
What number did we ring?
I'm not even going to go into the details of it, right? But I'm going to go to that you've sent me a letter, right? You sent it in a nice little yellow envelope, which matches Morrison's envelope, funnily enough. Whoop-de-fucking-doody, right? And you're here to collect a debt for, I think it is Lloyd's TSB. Yeah?
Okay.
Right? And the trouble I've got with you is, right, you've sent it to a Mr. Clark. Is that right? I'm not saying the name because it's going to go on YouTube later. Now, the trouble is, right, how do you know that the person that you've sent that letter to is the person that you're sending it to in the phone calls that you're doing it to? The phone calls that you're making are to that person. What you got to realise is you're about the 10th DCA that has had any dealings with this.
Okay.
And it went back to, I think you find it's back January or February 2010.
Which is saying that you're not that person, Joe. Obviously, we'll remove your address from our system.
No, I've been through all this with other DCAs and that, right? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you who I am. You make the effort. You make the effort to go and you make the effort to write to people and that, right? And you phone people on the assumption, and you know what assuming does to people, don't you? Makes an ass of you and me when you assume something. Yes. Anyway, I'll get to the point, right? How do you know that this thing isn't in, there isn't a, that it's not in dispute?
We don't know that at this point.
Exactly. So when you get handed this stuff, like Credit Security only handed this back probably last week, and I said exactly the same thing to them. So how do you know that the information that you've got correct is from nearly 2 years ago is correct? Do you do any checks on it?
We don't know that at this point.
You don't know that. So what happens to the innocent people at the other end of the telephone call and the letters?
The person involved to get in touch with us if there's any kind of issue.
So if the person doesn't get in contact, if the original person on the, and when I say person, I use that loosely, on the letter and on the telephone calls, if that person doesn't get in contact with you, what happens? And I'm speaking from a person who is not the person on the other end of the phone. Because the thing is, you're not the first people. You're probably about the 8th or 9th debt collector. So what happens? What happens?
What happens if we don't get in touch with that person?
What happens if the person will not speak to you? If the person is here, as in this case, the person won't speak to you, right? What happens then to the innocent people who live here? And I will state for the fact yet again that some people are under 16 in this household who answer the telephone.
If the person we're trying to get hold of doesn't answer our correspondence, the company would make a decision as to how to proceed with the account.
In other words, then you'd hand it back to the original creditor, though, wouldn't you? Because you can't take the person to court, can you? You yourselves,
I can't really comment on that.
Moorcroft Debt Recovery cannot send it to court themselves, can they, without the original creditor doing it themselves?
No, we take accounts to court. That's
No,
what
you
we
don't.
do.
No, you don't. Unless you buy the debts originally, which you've been told.
We don't have to buy the debt to issue proceedings on the account.
I think you do.
Is that relevant to our conversation?
Well, it is at the end of the day, because you send these threatening letters of it is a legal requirement to send a notice of intended litigation. Right, now I'll actually go through. I'll go through the whole process if you really want me to, but it's going to take about half an hour. Right, I want you to provide a contract that I have with you, right, or anyone in this household.
Well, if you're making formal requests, you better even give me your full name. So obviously we can't.
It doesn't make no difference if you're willing to send out stupid letters to random people.
Maybe
You're going to get random bloody questions asked for you, aren't you? Is that right? You're going to get random questions asked of you.
I don't even know who I'm speaking to at this point. So
I've told you my name is Joe. My name is Joe. Old Man Joe, they call me.
Right, okay. Alright.
But you can call me Joe if you want to.
I'd probably suggest you put your request in writing, Joe.
Why would I waste my time and effort for a company that I don't have any dealings with?
Confirm who you are properly.
So where's the
Are
con?
you the account holder, Graham
Can you-
Clark, yes or no?
My name's Joe. J-O.
Okay. Are you the occupier of the address that we wrote to?
I don't occupy anything except for my body.
Don't occupy anything. Do you live
No, I don't occupy anything. The only people who occupy things are armies who occupy countries. And that's stated in law. I don't occupy nothing.
Alright. Alright, well thanks for your time there, Joe. I'll note your comments as to what you've advised me, okay?
So can you stop sending letters and phoning me?
Well, you've not confirmed the number that we've called, so I don't know whether we've rang you or not.
You've got the number. You've told me, and it's all on video here. That you've
It's on video. I don't have a video.
no and audio, by the way.
I don't know what video you're referring to, Joe.
I've told you at the beginning that this was being done on audio and video.
Yeah, that's great, but all I'm asking for is to confirm the number we've alleged.
And all I've had.
If you can confirm that number, I'll obviously remove it from our system, but obviously...
I don't want you to remove it from your system. I just want you to stop sending bullshit through the post. You think of all the trees that have had to fucking die for you to send out stupid letters to innocent people.
Okay, thanks for your time, Joe.
Yeah, love you. Bye.